Hello. So there I was. Just living my life, just chilling. And a couple days ago, I posted the tier list that you see before you. I posted an analysis of all the Pokemon that are legal in VGC 2020, and I said this is how I would rank these Pokemon. And most people, I think, really enjoyed the video. However, I got not like a ton of criticism, but I know some people were like, wow, this tier list is so bad, you know, this is just like a joke, like, because there were a couple Pokemon that I put, like, that I thought were clear memes, right, just like one of my little, like, haha jokes. People didn't like that. They said the whole list was like a joke, whatever. Anyway, so most people, I think, enjoyed the tier list. Most people, I think, appreciated it, but I did see somebody say basically, like, I saw a couple newer players that were like, hey, this tier list is new, like, I'm new to the game, I'm trying to figure out what's good, and, like, they didn't know what was a joke and what wasn't, so I kind of wanted to make another video, and to make it different than the last one, what I'm going to be doing today in this video, is instead of going through, and in the last video I gave my own personal opinions, this time I'm just going to be going through, and instead of giving my personal opinions, I'm going to be adjusting this tier list based on, what the meta, like, what most people would agree on, not what I necessarily personally think. So, if you're a new player and you want a resource in order to get better at the game, then I guess this is aimed at you. If you want to see kind of what I think most people would agree on, the least offensive tier, the LOT, the lot. So we're basically going based on the lot here. So I'm just gonna be starting with my old tier list rather than re-ranking everything. And I'll go through and I'll try and provide. This might be a longer video. I'll try and provide more rationale as well for why I put things where I did. So let's just go through the tiers and start at the top. First of all, Delibird. So, I thought this was a pretty clear joke. Obviously, it's better than S tier to be, you know, here. Right? Wrong. Okay, so basically, Delibird minigame, Pokemon Stadium 2 is really fun. It's a great minigame. It's a great thing. Delibird is not very good. We're gonna put it down here in E. I'll put it at the end, so I don't forget. Togekiss, I think, is fair to stay in S. Togekiss is one of the best support Pokemon in the format, and also it's very good offensively. With Weakness Policy and Scope Lens and Super Luck, it's a very strong Pokemon. I don't think anyone would... I feel like S tier is probably the least offensive tier. It's good on support and offense, and you can't tell at first which set you're playing against. So, that's Togekiss. Conkeldurr, I'm going to be moving down one. Conkeldurr is going to be moving down to A. I love Conkeldurr. I think it's an amazing Pokemon, but Conkeldurr does need some support, some kind of speed control. Overall, it's an amazing Pokemon, but I think most people would probably feel like Conkeldurr is more of a Pokemon in A tier rather than S tier. I personally feel like it's an S tier mon, but that's just my personal preference. Things will change as well. A tier is probably safer if I don't want to offend people. The next up, Cofagrigus. So this was not a meme pick for me. I actually think Cofagrigus is really good. However, most people would not agree with me. Cofagrigus is a bulky ghost type that says Trick Room, has Will-O-Wisp, and has a really cool ability. I think there's a lot of potential you can do with it, and it's very hard to stop Super Trick Room. It also gets Body Press, which is really neat, and it has a huge base base physical defense stat. I think it's like 135 base or something, or 140. It's really high, maybe 130. I love Cofagrigus, and being pure ghost means you don't have the weaknesses of other ghost types. Of course, you could have like Dusclops as well, but Cofagrigus can actually like pressure things offensively, which is really nice. That's why I put it in S tier. I really like Cofagrigus. I think it's an amazing mon. Trick Room, Will-O-Wisp, Ally Switch, Body Press, Skill Swaps are not really great. There's also a lot of Pokemon rely on their abilities. So, for example, if a Grimmsnarl hits you with Foul Play, now Grimmsnarl doesn't have Prankster anymore, and that's really helpful. So I like Cofagrigus a lot personally, but most people would put it in B tier. Next up is Gothitelle. Gothitelle's moving down to A. I think Shadow Tag is so broken, and I think people haven't figured out how to use Gothitelle properly yet. And the fact that they gave it Fake Out for some godforsaken reason that I will never in my life understand, when it was already... It's an S tier mon, even if it doesn't have Fake Out. Now they gave it Fake Out. It's very good. It's very good. So, I think Gothitelle's amazing. A Trick Room Pokemon, I tended to have a bias towards, personally, but most people would probably feel like it's an A or maybe a B tier mon. S tier is probably too high for most people. I personally feel like it's an S tier, but I guess we'll just have to wait till I win tournaments with it, to show people. Clang, I love it. Obviously, Clang Gang, but it's not very good. Same with Octolocto. Maybe has potential, might be a D tier mon if you want to stretch. I don't really have that much to say about it. But yeah. Grimmsnarl, I don't know how most people feel about Grimmsnarl. I know I think Grimmsnarl is broken. The ability to have Prankster Screens, the ability to have Thunderous, which is Prankster T-Wave, and all the other things you can do. A huge base attack stat, really good dual stabs offensively. Foul Play, Spirit Break is a cool move. Player Up is strong. Sucker Punch is priority. I think Grimmsnarl belongs in S tier. Most people would probably put in an A. Oh, I missed Whimsicott. Sorry. I'll do Grimmsnarl and I'll do Whimsicott. So, most people would probably put Grimmsnarl in A. I'm going to leave it in S tier just because I really do believe in Grimmsnarl. I think it's very, very good. This is S/A. I'm going to leave it in S just so that S tier isn't only Togekiss and Whimsicott as well. Speaking of Whimsicott is really good this generation. I've never been a fan of Whimsicott personally, but the changes to Tailwind, basically giving you a free speed control being activated the first turn. It's not the changes to Tailwind, it's the changes to speed overall. So Tailwind taking effect immediately is very good. And in addition to that, so Tailwind's a good move. Whimsicott gets Prankster Tailwind. And in addition to that, Tailwind is very limited distribution. The other users are like Drifblim, Braviary, like there's a couple other users, but Whimsicott is far and above the best. So for that reason, I really like Whimsicott. Fairy is also really good offensively, and Moonblast is a good attacking move. It's not weak either. Like Yukonoko Dragapult, which is like, I mean, not a huge milestone, but still like you have some offensive pressure. And with support moves like Charm and Encore and Fake Tears, I think it's overall a great mon. Next up, Runerigus. We're gonna move this one down to B. This is B/C. Again, same reason why I like Cofagrigus, I like Runerigus. Hang on, let me how do I? Sorry, the music stopped. I wanted to add it back. So yeah, music by Glitch City, by the way. Okay, so Dracovish is probably. I'm gonna move it down to A. I think Dracovish was another one that was not a meme pick. Dracovish, I actually really think is S or A tier. Most people would say A or B tier. I personally really like Dracovish, so I think it's really, really good and really slept on right now. So that's why I had an S tier. Again, maybe I shouldn't have given my opinion. Maybe that was a mistake on my part. Next time I won't give my opinions. But yeah, Dracovish I think is really strong. I think Dracovish is really strong. Fish's Rend is a stupid attack. You position it properly and you just kind of like take KOs, which is not something that a lot of Pokemon can do. So I'll put it in an A tier just to compromise between what most people think. Most people probably feel it's a gimmicky mon. I like it a lot, so we'll put it in an A tier to compromise. So we're done with S tier. We've left with 3 mons in S tier. Gigantamax Charizard I think can stay. I don't know how most people feel about Gigantamax Charizard. I like it a lot personally. I think Gmax Wildfire is broken. It's an incredible secondary effect. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't know that much to say about it. Arcanine, I'll move it up to S tier. I would move it down to B tier personally. I don't think Arcanine's very good. Most people probably feel like it is. Arcanine is another good support mon. Will-O-Wisp, Snarl. People are using Burn Up. People are using Bulldoze to proc their own weakness policy with Duraludon. Most people really love Arcanine. Intimidate is good, but not as good as it used to be. Yeah, so I'm going to leave Arcanine in S tier. I don't agree with that personally. I'd personally put it, obviously, I'd put it in A. You know, if I was being my own personal list, not for the public, I'd put it in B tier personally. But nobody cares about that. Moving on to Gyarados. So, Gyarados is interesting. I don't really know where most people feel about Gyarados. I'm gonna leave it in A tier. I think you can make a case for moving it down to B tier, but I think I want to leave it in A tier. I think it's pretty good. It's just like a solid offensive mon, and it also has underexplored options because of Intimidate. You can do Thunder Wave and Taunt. You can do Assault Vest, you can do Life Orb, you can do Scarf, maybe, probably not Scarf. But yeah, you can use cool stuff with it, so I'll leave Gyarados in A. Gigantamax Snorlax is a mon that most people, you know what, I think most people would feel like this is an S tier mon. Gigantamax Snorlax is really good. There hasn't been like a breakout Gigantamax Snorlax team that feels unbeatable yet, mainly because of the nerfs to the berry, but it's a very good mon. Snorlax is a good mon. Belly Drum into Gmax Replenish is very good. I think someone will figure out a good Snorlax team and just win a tournament with it. And then we'll be forced to respect it more. But yeah, no one's really figured it out yet, but it's a solid mon, I think. S or A tier, okay? S or A tier. I think S tier personally, if we're going to be... I think A tier personally, but I think most people feel like it's more of an S tier mon than an A tier mon. Dusclops can stay there. It's a good Tricker mon. It's being used with Rhyperior right now. Same with Bronzong. These two are kind of in the same category. Later in the season, one of these these guys might move up to S tier, but I think for now, A tier is fine for them. Yeah. I'm going to move Rhyperior up as well. I'm just going to be pretty generous with my S tier, I suppose. Rhyperior is a mon that most people probably feel is amazing. It's very, very good in the right position. Both Rock and Ground raise its special defense, and it's being run currently with Weakness Policy and Life Orb. It's a very strong offensive mon. I don't love Rhyperior personally. I think it's a very good mon. I think A was a figure tier for it, but I think most people probably would prefer it in S tier. Rotom Mow. Most people probably feel this is a B tier mon. Most people really feel like Rotom Mow belongs in the B tier, so I'm going to drop it down there. I'll mention that I like Rotom Mow a lot, but you know, if other people don't like, I don't think other people are as convinced by Rotom as I am. It's just, it's like, it's very good. It's not weak to Mold Breaker Excadrill, unlike all the other Rotom forms, which is really nice. Grass is a really strong offensive type. Grass and Electric has nice coverage together, even though you'd be surprised because they don't seem like they would have good coverage. But yeah, Rotom it functions as a grass type that's not weak to flying, which is really nice. And you can do interesting stuff with it. It has good support moves as well. So, oh no, hang on. Okay, sorry. Okay, that should be fine now. We reached the end of the playlist. Okay, moving on. Excadrill. Most people probably feel Excadrill's an S tier mon as well. I don't personally feel like Excadrill's an S tier mon, but actually, you know what? I think A tier. I think A tier is actually fair for Excadrill. Excadrill is very good. It's a fast sweeper. It has the best defensive max moves in the game with ground and steel as it stabs, and it can boost its speed with max rockfall if it's sand rush, and it has mold breaker, which is really good. S or A for Excadrill. I think it's fair. Reuniclus moving down by B. I think Reuniclus is amazing, but most people wouldn't agree. Most people would put B or C for Reuniclus. I think Reuniclus is really good. It's an offensive Trickermon that isn't weak to steel. The offensive Tricker Pokemon this generation are looking like Hatterene and Reuniclus, and Hatterene is weak to the steel type because of its fairy typing, and weak to poison, which isn't really relevant, but whatever. I think Reuniclus is really good. I think A was fair for it, but we're moving it down to B. Same with Vanilluxe. Vanilluxe is a mon that I think people will continue to use well and will continue to be a threat for most people. However, I think the general metagame consensus is that Vanilluxe is kind of gimmicky. Jellicent, I'm going to leave an A tier. I think Jellicent's really good. Jellicent winning a regional definitely helps its case. I talked about why I think Jellicent is great. I don't think it's an S tier mon. I don't think it's a B tier mon. I think A tier is really fair for it. Durant, very strong offensive mon. Nobody knows exactly how if Durant is gimmicky or if it's offensive just yet. Or sorry, if it's consistent. Like it's a hyper offense mon that kind of needs to Dynamax because Hustle's really inconsistent. But when you're Dynamaxed, you actually get to take advantage of Hustle, which is great. But yeah, I think A tier is probably fair for Durant. I know this is probably going slow, but once we get to the lower tier mons, I'm going to give less explanation because a lot of them are just bad. Sylveon in the A tier, I personally really like Sylveon. It hasn't had as much success, so I guess we'll move it down to B tier. Yeah. Inteleon, I definitely am not moving from A tier because I do feel strongly about that one. I have some soup. I made my soup before I started recording, and now it's cold. Inteleon, a lot of people are saying how Inteleon are not as good as Billaroom or Cinderace. That's not true. Inteleon is very good. It's had some success. It was, I think, 4-1 or 5-1 at the regional in Europe, in Germany, but yeah, then it was like 5-5 or 4-5-4 or something, so it definitely tanked out, but yeah, I think Inteleon's very good hyper offense mon. Similar, Inteleon and Durant are the same Pokemon in my head, like, they play the same way. Very fast, very hyper aggressive. Okay, now we got into Wolf's. Wolf surprising picks. Colossal, everybody hates. We'll move Colossal down to D. Colossal so bad. Colossal bad, whatever. Sandaconda, moving it down to D. Goodbye, CGMax Sandaconda. You know what? You know, Sandaconda, you belong in E. Everyone hates Sandaconda. Fallen from grace. Alchemy, everybody hates Alchemy. Goodbye, Alchemy. You're not good at all, right? Okay, Indeedee, I think is fair for A tier personally. We could move it down to B if we wanted. I'm gonna leave it. I'll move it down to B. Everyone, like, I don't think anybody else thinks Indeedee is as good as I think Indeedee is. Dracozolt, I'm gonna leave it A tier because of Sajin Park. If it weren't for Sajin, I would move it down to B. Dracozolt is an A/B mon. Very good when Dynamax. Same as Durant. Same as well, not exactly the same as Durant or Inteleon, but it does have Hustle. Hustle is one of the best abilities to have if you're gonna Dynamax. And really scary if you're not gonna Dynamax because it makes your average accuracy 80%, or decreases your accuracy by a factor of 4 over 5. So. Yeah, that's it's scary, but Dracozolt, when it is supported well, it has max airstream, unlike Dracovish. I don't think Dracovish is a flying move, so it's able to boost its speed stat, which is really good. And then yeah, set the Electric Train for itself, which is Electric Train is good because it boosts its Bolt Beak, which is ridiculous, and it also gives it access to Electric Train, which is really good because sleep is something you want to have answers for. Okay, moving on. So next up is Stapler Duraludon. So I think Duraludon is fair in A tier. Some people would put it in S tier. I'm going to leave it in A tier. I think that's fair, personally. But Yeah, S or A tier for Duraludon. Duraludon is a mon where it doesn't really function as a steel type, in my opinion, unless you give it like an Assault Vest and it's very bulky. Duraludon's seen a lot of Duraludon has seen a lot of success so far in the metagame. It won the World Champ Invitational with Sejun and won regionals with Aaron Trailer. So I think it's a mon that could be S or A. I'm gonna leave it in A tier for now, just because personally I think it's an A tier mon. I think that one I get some leverage on. And then lastly we have Dragapult for the A tier. So Dragapult is a mon most people would probably put in an S tier. I personally am not totally. I haven't made up my mind about Dragapult. Dragapult it's the fastest thing in the metagame that's relevant. And it's so fast that even Choice Scarf Pokemon like Dracovish can't outspeed it. Some Choice Scarf Pokemon. And Togekiss needs to be timid to outspeed it, so it's very fast. Its max moves are good. Dragon helps it defensively. Phantasm helps it offensively. Can be physical or special. Physical is currently thought of as better, but it could be special if you wanted it to. I've seen some special Dragapult. If it's special, it combos really well with Fake Tears as an option. And it has a better matchup against Duraludon, who's traditionally a counter to Dragapult. So, yeah, I think Dragapult is... My problem with Dragapult is that it feels like it has to Dynamax, so that's why I had it in A tier, not S tier, but most people, you know, would probably put it as an S tier mon. Okay, moving on to B tier. We're just going to move Charizard up because it's very offensive. I think Charizard needs too much setup, maybe, like regular Charizard, but we can put it in A tier so that people agree. I think Gmax Butterfree is probably fair to put in the B tier, personally. B or A tier. It's a good support mon. It doesn't, like, Gmax Butterfree doesn't feel as good to me as any of the mons in the A tier, so we'll leave it down here. I think Pikachu is fair to put in the B tier. Maybe that's a C tier mon. I think Pikachu and Raichu are fair to put in the B tier. This is where it gets a little harder. Gengar has had no success so far, so we're putting it in the C tier. I think B tier was fine for Gengar. Weezing won one of the Galar friendlies online, hosted by Professor Shermish in VGC Stats. So I like Weezing a lot. I think it has a lot of potential. I think B tier is fine for it. Snorlax, it's weird to use regular Snorlax, but we'll put it up in A tier. Yeah, we can move Snorlax up a tier because it's Snorlax is still good even if without Gmax Replenish. Yeah. Hitmontop, I think is a B tier mon. I don't think anyone's going to be angry about me for that. Tyranitar will move up. I think Tyranitar's not great, personally. But we'll move it up to A tier because people like it. I don't like it personally right now, but, you know, I think most people feel like Tyranitar is probably A or S, whereas I feel like it's B or C, but we'll put it in A tier. Ludicolo, I guess we can move Ludicolo down. Ludicolo feels about as good as the rest of these mons. Same with Sableye. This is probably Sableye's best format since 2012. So I'm gonna leave Sableye in B tier. Most people, I don't know how most people would agree. If most people would agree with that, we can move my Milotic up. I wouldn't be opposed to my Milotic in A tier personally. It's a great support mon. Competitive is amazing, and it's really good against Dynamax mons. Like pairing my Milotic with a Dragon type is cool because opposing Dragon types have to use Max Dragon to KO your Dragon type, and then they lower your attack stat, which then gives you competitive. Drifblim, I love. I'll put it in D tier. Most people don't love it. I think Drifblim's super cool. Hippowdon, most people don't agree with me for that. Let's put it in C tier. Leafeon, this one made people mad. All right, you guys don't like Leafeon. We'll put it in E tier. Glaceon, who's ever heard of Glaceon? We'll put it in E tier. So those were not meme picks. Those were serious picks by me because I've seen them and I've seen people do really cool stuff with them. But, you know, nobody cares about that. So, well, yeah, I mean, Wolf is just memeing. Rotom Heat is B or A. I'll leave it in B tier because we haven't seen so much success with it. Wash has always been thought of as the best Rotom type. I personally think it's a B tier mon. We'll put it in A tier. Most people would agree with that. Musharna. Musharna, I like a lot. We'll put it in C tier. I think that's fair. Same with Jigglypuff. I really don't want to drop Jigglypuff down. I really think it has a lot of potential. But this isn't about me. This is about the people. I'm putting it in C tier. Goodbye, Jigglypuff. Okay, cool. Seismitoad. So I think Seismitoad's a really fair B tier mon. It can sweep. It's a Swift Swim user. It has max poison. It can set the rain for itself. Ground and water are good stats to have when you're a Swift Swim user. I think it gets Hailstorm. It definitely gets Hailstorm as well. I think it gets nice to be special. I like Seismitoad personally. I've lost to it on the ladder before. I'm gonna leave Seismitoad in B tier. Darmanitan in Galarian form, I'm also going to leave in the B tier. I think that's a fair thing to have in the B tier. It's, you know, another hyper offensive mon, but if you don't position properly against it, you'll lose, and Sajin did win a tournament with it, so I think that's fair. Scrafty and Escavalier are both, like, solid, you know, Trick Room Pokemon. Scrafty is Intimidated Fake Out. Escavalier has only one weakness, and there's no hidden power anymore. You know, I think people might not like Escavalier. I'll drop it to C. I'll drop Escavalier to C, just for you guys. Galvantula. This is another one that made people mad. I was surprised this one made people mad because I thought Galvantula was a pretty like, non-surprising pick, but that's just me. So Galvantula got banished. Ferrothorn and Clang, these two, so we'll talk about Ferrothorn first. Ferrothorn in the B tier, I think it's fair, personally. I think Ferrothorn in B tier is fair. I don't like it in the A tier. Ferrothorn has not performed well enough, in my opinion, yet to justify putting it in the A tier, but it definitely has the potential to be an A tier mon. Personally, I think B is fair for it, B or C. Yeah. Klingklang, again, this is not a meme pick. This thing got first in the Showdown ladder, so I'm going to leave it in B tier. It's kind of underexplored, in my opinion. It's also one of the only non-psychic or ghost types to get Trick Room, so yeah, it definitely has potential there. Chandelure, I think, is fair to put in the B tier. Yeah, Chandelure's got second at regionals. It's maybe people would argue it's an A tier mon. I don't agree with that personally. Haxorus, people hate Haxorus, so we'll put it in C tier. I thought Haxorus is actually pretty good this season. Oh, Beartick made people mad. We'll put Beartick in E. All the ones people hated, we'll put in E. So that's Beartick. Excalibur, we'll drop it down to tier. No one believes Excalibur. Bisharp, Braviary will bump. That's an easy bump. People like I think Braviary is trash. We'll bump it up. People like Braviary. Bisharp. What do I do with Bisharp? But I feel like B tier is reserved for like Pokemon that were good in past formats, so I'm gonna leave Bisharp in here because I think Bisharp has potential. It has Defiant, which is amazing in a Dynamax metagame. So I'm gonna leave Bisharp in. If you hate it, if you think it's bad, I'm sorry. Mandibazz, I think B tier is so fair for it, but we can drop it down to the C tier since everybody hates Mandibazz. Hydreigon, I think is a fair B tier mon. It has potential. Hydreigon would be amazing if it weren't for the Fairy type. Aegislash as well. I'm going to leave Aegislash in B. That might seem crazy to people, but yeah, I think Aegislash in B is fair. Hawlucha is interesting because it has Umberto, pairs well with Indeedee, or if you can set terrain, and also you can do weakness policy stuff with it. You can quick attack yourself and activate your own weakness policy. So I think it's a solid gimmick mon, and I don't think it has to be a gimmick mon either. I think it has a lot of stuff it can do. I think B is fair. Goodra, I'm also going to leave in B tier because Goodra is a mon that I think has potential for sure. I always hated Goodra because it doesn't do any damage, but it walls Charizard. It's like the anti-weather. It's like the anti-special mon, right? The anti-weather mon. So with Charizard picking up, I think Goodra just has as a mon that can take hits from it. Is probably solid. Trevenant and Gourgeist, I'm also going to leave in the B tier. I think those are fair to have in the B tier. They're bulky Trick Room Pokemon that each have something unique about them. Gourgeist is very bulky and they each have their signature move, Phantom or Trick or Treat, and then Forest Curse to add typings to Pokemon. So you can do cool stuff with that. Trevenant has Harvest, which is a personal favorite ability of mine ever since I got second at Worlds with Executor using Harvest. So I think Trevenant could be very good. I think B tier is fine. Same with Ribombee. We've seen some speed swap stuff with Ribombee. This is a slow metagame, and Ribombee is a fast Pokemon, so yeah. Wishy-Washy. Everybody hates Wishy-Washy. You get dropped Wishy-Washy. Sorry. Araquanid. I'll drop it a tier. I mean, I think Araquanid's good personally, but maybe people don't agree. We'll drop Salazzle down a couple tiers. You know what? Salazzle gets banished. Everybody hates Salazzle. Oranguru will drop a tier, sure. Like, these are Pokemon that I thought had a lot of potential, but, I don't think people agree. I think Passimian is fine to leave in the B tier. Sajin, again, used it well. Togedemaru, I think, is a fair B tier mon, but it hasn't seen that much usage, so we'll drop it. Rillaboom and Cinderace will also drop a tier because they haven't... I mean, these are Pokemon... I just like... These are... B tier are reserved for a lot of Pokemon I thought had potential, but if we're doing, kind of general metagame stuff, it's not about potential, I guess. Corviknight, we'll bump up a tier. People like Corviknight a lot. I think it kind of has some issues that I'm not convinced can be overcome easily, so that's why I had it in the B tier. But other people like Corviknight, so we'll bump it up. Eldegoss, I love. We'll drop it a tier. Dreadnought. We'll drop Dreadnought tier as well. Dreadnought is a Pokemon I think has a ton of potential, but is not traditionally thought of as super good. Same with Appleton. Same with Barraskewda. G-Max Scentiscorch, I think is an amazing mon. Everybody hates it. We'll drop it to E tier. Let's see. Where were we? Hatterene, I think, is a fair B tier mon. Hatterene Indeedee was really popular at the beginning of the format and then kind of fell off. So, definitely something people are keeping an eye on, I think. Yeah. Berserker. So, Berserker won a tournament. I think it won another one of the... I actually don't know what tournament it won, but I think it won an online tournament. But nobody really believes in Berserker, so we'll drop it down to the D tier. Obstagoon, I think, has a lot of potential, but again, we don't care about potential. Well, that's another one that drops down to D. Surfetched, another one I thought had potential, that drops down to D. Let's see. Phalanx, same thing. I think it's good. Most people wouldn't agree. We'll actually drop Phalanx all the way. Yeah, D tier is probably fair for Phalanx. Morpeko will drop 1 tier. It's had some success in the ladder, but overall it's not thought of to be super good. Copperajah I think is amazing, but nobody likes it. We'll drop it 1. Arctozolt and Arctovish are both Pokemon, again, I think have potential, but nobody agrees with me. So, yeah. So yeah, that's the updated A, B, and S tier. So these are your quote-unquote top tiers. It's been cleaned out a bit. C tier. I'm just going to go ahead and drop Butterfree out because there's no reason to use Butterfree over Gmax Butterfree at all. Clefable's hidden ability is really being released soon. I don't love Clefable, but I'll bump it up a tier. I think Ninetales is fair here. It's a weather setter. So, you know, it has some potential. It gets Will-O-Wisp, which is an amazing move. It gets Nasty Plot. It's fast, so we'll leave Ninetales there. Vileplume as well. I think that's a fair pick for it. Has potential. Regular Machamp. I don't know how much people feel about Machamp. I personally like it, but it's just me, so I'll drop it a tier. Lapras is probably C or B tier. Lapras is picking up some on the ladder, but I think C tier is fair for it, personally. Vaporeon, Jolteon, Umbreon, I think are all fair to put into C tier. Like, Jolteon and Vaporeon, you could maybe argue B tier for, but I don't like that. Wobbuffet, I think is great, but nobody agrees with me, so we'll put it in E tier. Mantine, I mean, again, a Pokemon that I think is really good, but, what the heck, where'd it go? I lost it out. We'll put Mantine in the D tier, I think. But I think Mantine could be C or actually we'll drop Mantine all the way to the E tier because I don't think anybody else likes Mantine other than me. I like Mantine. Gardevoir, I'm gonna leave in the C tier. I know people have been scarfing it. Torkoal will move up. Torkoal I think people like. We'll put in a B tier. Cherum, nobody likes. We'll put in a D tier. Gastrodon, this was not like all of my picks pretty much at this point were serious. Gastrodon, I really felt was a pretty non-controversial C tier pick, but everybody likes Gastrodon, so you get bumped. Lucario, again, I think it's not consistent, so we'll bump it. But other people like it, so we'll bump it. Abomasnow, most people don't believe in, so I'll drop Abomasnow down. Weavile, I'll drop 1 tier. Weavile is a mon that would be better if Fake Out wasn't nerfed. Mamoswine, I think, could stay. Gallade, most people don't believe in. Dusknoir, most people don't believe in. Rotom Frost, most people don't believe in. Liepard, nobody believes in except for me. Zenmo, Darmanitan, nobody believes in. That's going all the way down to E. What else do people not believe in? Sigilyph will drop 1 tier. One of the world champions used Sigilyph, and it had some other success as well. But other than that, nobody really believes in it. Diggersby will drop 1 tier. It's another mon that has potential. Noivern, I think, has a lot of potential, but nobody cares. Dropping it. Mudsdale, people love. So we're actually going to bump Mudsdale up to A because people love Mudsdale. I think it's really good. I don't agree. Personally, I don't agree, but, yeah. Sarina, C tier mon. I think that's fair for it. It's got a great ability, but Fake Out again isn't as prevalent this year as past years. So we're probably gonna leave it in C tier. It definitely has potential. Silvally, too much volatility. I think it's fair for C tier. Same with not same for Como. Como, good in past generations. It's kind of good in past generations in like 17 and 18. Debate good as in quotes there. But actually, it's just 18 now that I think about it. But yeah, Clangorous Soul is a cool move, and it activates Throat Spray. So I think Como is a mon that has potential. Most people would agree has potential. Yeah. So we'll leave it there. Orbital, we're gonna, or not Orbital. The nut we're gonna drop down to. I think it's fair to put it in the D tier personally. Like I think it's a C tier mon. It has a lot of really cool stuff it can do, but yeah, I think people are aware that you can do like cool belly drum stuff with it. So we'll see. Maybe people will be mad about that. I'm gonna drop Orbital down to E as well. Nobody likes Orbital except for me. Double again. Mon I think has a lot of potential. Nobody agrees with that. Cramorant Plup used really well and with the team that he and Ashton built, but most people don't think Cramorant is very consistent. I'm gonna leave Toxtricity here because I think Toxtricity has a lot of things it can do, and I think it's underused. It's another good offensive mon. You just have to figure out the speed control. So, but if you get the speed control, then I think it's fair. Let's drop Centiskorch down. People don't like Centiskorch, so let's put it in E tier. Where were we? What tier are we in? Oh yeah, C. Okay, Poltegeist, nobody likes. We're putting in E tier. Let's see. Mr. Rhyme, nobody likes. We're putting in E tier. Stonejourner, definitely nobody likes Stonejourner. I think people think Stonejourner is kind of cool. We'll leave it in D tier. Gengar we moved here. Oh, and this is the rest ones we've already done. Okay, cool. All right, next up, D tier. Dugtrio, gone. Everybody hates Dugtrio. Rapidash, gone. Everybody hates Rapidash. Hitmonlee, and everything's just going in E tier. Gone. Everybody hates Hitmonlee. Mr. Mime, we'll leave there. Espeon, we'll leave there. These are mons that are like bad, but people are like, man, most people feel like you could do something with it. Steelix, I don't know if people like Steelix. Are people gonna be mad if I put Steelix in D? Can I put Steelix in D? Can it do stuff? Would most people think it can do stuff? I'm gonna leave Steelix in D. Quillfish, people don't like. We're putting in E tier. Shuckle, I can leave. Cursal, I think I can leave. Octillery, I think I can leave. It gets Water Spout. Please don't be angry at me. Shiftry, I think I can leave. Okay, Pelipper. People thought Pelipper was a joke. I was dead serious about Pelipper. I have never been more serious about anything than I have been with Pelipper. But, you know, most people think Pelipper is a lot better than I think Pelipper is. I think Pelipper is trash. If we had Politoed, this whole metagame would be different. But we have stupid Pelipper. He's a garbage Pokemon, but just has a good ability. Manectric, I think I can leave in D tier. Wailord, I think I have to move to E. People aren't going to like Wailord. Flygon will leave. Lunatone, nobody's going to see what I see on Lunatone. Whiscash, nobody's going to see what I see in Whiscash. Where are we? Crawdon, I can leave in D. Claydol, I think I can leave it in D. It gets Trick Room. The poison types here. Skuntank has to go. We'll leave Drapion. I think people can believe in Drapion, but Toxicroak will leave. Frostlass, nobody's going to like. Frostlass could be so good. Shinshino, I think I can leave. Stunfisk, nobody likes Stunfisk. Golurk, I think I can leave. I'm not positive. I'm going to leave both Meowsticks because the Prankster's coming out, and that's good. I'm going to leave Aromatisse. I'm going to move Malamar up, actually. Malamar's making it out of D tier, which is good for him. We're going to leave Aromatisse here. Heliolisk, I think is fair for D. Avalugg, nobody likes Avalugg. I'll put it in E tier. Charjabug, nobody likes Charjabug. I'll put it in E tier. Vikavolt, I'll leave. I'm going to leave Shiinotic, might be controversial. I'm going to leave Beware, might be controversial. I'm going to leave Golisopod, might be controversial. I'm going to leave Drampa, Anchor, Boltund. I'll move Corsola out. Nobody likes Corsola. Ice Cube, I'm going to leave. Mail and DD, I'm going to leave. Claw, and then I've already done these. Okay, cool. So now it's just the bottom tier. E tier, and then I have to make a couple corrections to not legal. Okay, apparently Persian's legal. There you go, Persian. Mr. Mime is legal. But Mr. Mime makes it to D tier. He made it out. This is legal. This is an E tier mod. You would never use this over regular Dreadnought. Colossal's not legal. Okay, I think those are all the ones I missed. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize you could get Contonian, Persian, or Mr. Mime, and I didn't realize G-Max Dreadnought was legal because you'd never use it. Okay, E tier. Cloyster, everyone's like, wow, you put Cloyster in E tier. Listen, Cloyster is actually an E tier mon. If you think it's not, you haven't played VGC. It's not a good mon. Kingler, I'm leaving. Hitmonchan, I'm leaving. Seaking, I'm leaving. Eevee, Flareon, I'm leaving. People were mad about Flareon. I'm not moving it up. I will not do that. Noctowl, I'm leaving. Lantern, you can make a case for. I'm leaving it. Zatu, I'm leaving. Blossom, I'm leaving. Sudowoodo, I'm leaving. Quagsire, I'm leaving. Ninjask, you can do cool baton pass stuff with Ninjask, but I'm leaving it. Mawile, bad. Solrock, bad. Glalie, bad. Roserade was another mon people were mad about. I'll give it to you, Roserade stands. I'll give you D tier Roserade. Happy Merry Christmas. Vespiquen, if anyone's mad about Vespiquen, I don't know what to say. Rotom Fan and Rotom Ghost, or no form, whatever. People were mad about Unfazant. I'm not moving these guys up. These guys are all bad. Swoobat is bad. Throw is bad. Sock is bad. I don't even know which one's Throw and which one's Sock. Basculin, bad. Maractus, I saw people talking about it. It's not good. Crustle is bad. Garbodor is bad. Beheeyem, bad. I'm surprised I know all these names. Heatmore, bad. Pangoro, bad. Doublade, bad. This thing doesn't even get Belly Drum anymore. Bad. Barbarical, bad. Apex, bad. Oh, they do have Fungus. Fungus, S tier. Pyukumuku, bad. Turtonator, bad. G-Max Corviknight, don't use it. Dottler, bad. Thievul, bad. Flapple, you can Dynamax it. But this isn't my opinion. This isn't my opinion. This is what most people think. Most people would put Flapple in the... Most people would put Flapple in the... Where would they put Flapple? Flapple, where do you belong? Most people feel like Flapple is bad. Most people feel Flapple is bad. E tier. Sandaconda. There's a case for D tier here. I understand it. Bad. Pyukumuku Electric for me. Bad. Frostmoth. I want to like Frostmoth too. Don't yell at me that it's bad. It's bad. Okay? I can't do anything about it. It's not a good Pokemon. It's too slow. You want to make it better, find a way to make it faster. Its base speed is like 60 or something atrocious. And that is all of the list. That is my updated tier list based on what I think is the least offensive to people. So now you have what looks like what most people who play VGC would probably feel like this list is okay. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I still have things higher than they should be. But as you can see, there's a lot. The top is like much less full, and the bottom are much more full. I think. Yeah, E tier was eating. Yeah, I'm gonna try and zoom out so you guys can see it all at once. Okay, well, hope that's nice. Okay, let's see. There you go. There. That way you have like a... you can't see the S tier, can you? Okay. Do you really need to see the E tier? You can see most of it. You're missing a row off the bottom of the E tier, but yeah. Hopefully that's helpful. Yeah. So, that's my list. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful. I only did this because I wanted, you know, people to have a resource for kind of like standard versus like my personal take. So now you have both. Now you can say, okay, where does Wolf think things actually are, and then where would most people feel like things actually are. So these, yeah, that's my take. Looking at this list, I feel like people aren't going to be too upset about it. Like for the most part, maybe Dracovision A is going to make people mad, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, let me know if you enjoyed the video. I know this was probably maybe some of you guys didn't find this useful, but I hope you did, because you know I did it. So I hope somebody liked it. But yeah, sorry again about the music. I don't know what's going on. I just gave up at some point. But yeah, I think that's all I want to say. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you're angry about my list down below, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Goodbye.